Yo guys, what's up, it's Krypz, and today I have for you all my Samurai Hunter set. Now I went and teased this in my community page and you all absolutely loved it, so I went ahead and made a video for you all showcasing the set with some alternative pieces and shaders towards the end of the video. And it does follow along the same lines as my Iron Wolf Hunter set, so I recommend going and checking out after. And without further ado, let's get straight into the set. So here is the set in game here. Now this time I'm going to instead show the sparrows and ghost shells and stuff after the armor. So yeah, as you can see, the reason why I picked most of this armor was basically because of the plating. When you look at a lot of samurai armor, you see like plating just stacked on top of each other, and then with like rope going through to hold it all together. And that's pretty much the reason why I picked most of these pieces. So now specifically looking at each piece, the helmet here, we have the Weyloran's Iron Mask ornament. Now this is from Iron Banner during Warmind. Now this is sadly no longer obtainable, but is an amazing helmet if you do have it, and especially looks nice without any hood on. And then the shade that's going over the whole set is Rusted Iron from the Forsaken Iron Banner. This just get those nice reds and golds in the set, but I will show a very good alternative later as well. Then for the arms, we have the Iron Pledge ornament. This is from the Curse of Osiris Iron Banner, also no longer obtainable, and uses the Rusted Iron. Now obviously, like I mentioned, the big plating piece here gives off the samurai look to me instantly, and was the reason why I picked it. The only issue you're going to find with this is though the other plating, there is no like shoulder plate, so this can shade it awkwardly with some shaders. Then the chest plate is the Iron Remembrance vest. This is pretty much one of the best pieces I'd say for the samurai look. This is from the Forsaken Iron Banner, although Bungie tend to rotate Iron Banner armor, so we can see this return in the future. And like I mentioned earlier, with like the rope holding all the plated pieces together, that's pretty much why I picked it. It's so good for this sort of look. Then for the boots, we have the Bombardiers. This is pretty much from World Drops. Absolutely perfect exotic to use, and it's quite a fun one to use as dodging leaves behind an explosive that detonates after a short delay. It's quite handy actually in Crucible. Not a lot of people use it, but if you experiment and play around with it, it is quite good. And then as for the cloak, I went with the Iron Fellowship cloak, another set that can rotate around in Iron Banner, so we could see a return. The reason why I love this cloak so much is because of how it splits off on just one half of the cloak. So many cloaks just go down like straight down the back and they don't split off too much, or they don't just like come down on one side. A lot of the older cloaks used to do this, but with the newer cloaks, Bungie just tend to go with like a full cloak design, which, you know, I do much like different. And also the plating around the top here is perfect for this sort of look, and this little spiky design up here. Now I know a lot of people are going to recommend the Iron Pledge, which I do. I'll show you all later in a set how it can look as well, but this is perfect as well. I just looked at the Destiny Fashion Reddit and seen so many people use this for a samurai set, and I wanted my own look to it, so I didn't really want to use this as it would be so similar to everyone else's. And personally, I do really love this a lot more. So yeah, that is pretty much my set here. Don't worry, I'll go with some alternatives now. But obviously the colours here, it's quite different. I do have like a red and gold variation where it's just full red and gold without like the blue and the green. I feel like these colours though are more natural with this shader, that's why I absolutely love it. So yeah, the alternatives you could go with is Conflagrate from this season's Crucible. Then there's House of Mayrin with like a nice red and gold, but my favourite red one is New Monarchy Succession. This was from New Monarchy back in year 1 and sadly no longer obtainable, but this is amazing for a nice red and gold. But personally in game, Rusted Iron looks more natural to the game and looks a lot better in my opinion. And then another one I quite like is Vintage Timber. Now the only issue you're going to find, and this is pretty much why I wanted to show this, is because the cloak here, it doesn't actually shade this color. So when you are using this cloak, the reason why you want to go with like something that's a bit red is to sort of blend it out, but still looks absolutely amazing from the front. It's just the cloak bothered me a bit much, and this is what I meant with you can then introduce the Iron Pledge if you do have it, and you go with like this nice like full chromish sort of look. And then you could even use the Iron Pledge. I've seen this one be used quite often. There's the Iron Fellowship as well, and something else you could do as well. So I put on the Wildwood so you can see this better. So if you use the Iron Truage, which is in this season's Iron Banner and will return at the start of August, so new players go ahead and pick up the Iron Truage set. You can actually try and make a Ghost of Tsushima look. I don't know if any of you have seen the game, but I'll leave a picture here on the side. So you can see what I mean with the helmet. Create a really cool set based off the game. I have had a set I featured before in a hunter fashion which did this, and it was perfect. So yeah, this is a great starting point if you didn't know. And also here is the full truage set for you new players. You can go out and get this at the start of August, and it is quite a good set for like an Iron Wolf, or like I said, a Samurai look as well. And as well as the truage pieces, you can also try and make the Dragon Shadow work. Although this is a lot harder, and I highly recommend using Bombardiers over this. Mainly because a lot of pieces don't flow very well because the chest plate doesn't actually shade the gold. And then there's also the 6 Coyote exotic, which personally for a Samurai look I think is much better than using the Dragon Shadow. I find more success with using it as Dragon Shadow has a lot of shadering issues. This still does too. But as you can see here, I managed to make a much better set with this than I did with the Dragon Shadow. As I'll show you with this shader, you can see there can be like 2 parts of shadering on the 6 Coyote. So when you are using this, you have to be careful, as with some it does show it and with others it does not. So you just got to be careful of what you're picking. But I found Omnicronia to give off a really cool look here. So anyways, back to my set. So I'm going to show you some other alternatives as well. So here we have the Iron Remembrance. If you want like a darker look to your set, like I said, you could probably chuck on Vintage Timber. You could even go with something like this. There's also the Legatus Helm. From last season's pass, this could also work really well. And this shade is amazingly well, pretty much any shader, no unshadable parts whatsoever. So I would recommend this if you do have it. Now you could even incorporate some fur into the set if you really wanted to. But it does become more like a Iron Wolf set like what I made previously if you do. I wouldn't really recommend this. And obviously you can incorporate some of the other Iron Banner pieces. The reason why I didn't use Remembrance is because they are way too bulky for my liking. Obviously some of us may like this more. If you do, then go ahead and try and use it. Personally, if I was to choose, I'd use Iron Fellowship over it. Even though shader's blue here, you could just change it up for something a bit lighter or darker and try and get a different look out the set, like what I have here with Iron Mossbone. But yeah, they're pretty much all the alternatives I wanted to show you all. As for the weapon I'm holstering is the Bite of the Fox with Rusted Iron, pretty much perfect for that sort of look. And obviously the sword I use is the Quick Fang because of how they holster it. And if you want to like, you know, use this for like some sets, then you can actually get this just from Legendary Engrams right now. Then the Ghost Shell is the Sanctified Vigilance Shell. The reason why I use this was because the red and the gold match with the armor, and then a bit of the blue on the cloth matched with the gem. Then we also have the Comrades in Arms Sparrow. This was from the Solstice of Heroes, and this has House of Mayrin. I pretty much like the designs on this, and just pretty much the accent colours and the base colour of red matches very well with the set. And then the ship is the Iron Pendragon with the Rusted Iron, pretty much to match the colours again. And I just really love the design of this ship. So yeah, that is pretty much my Samurai Hunter set. I'll be happy to make one for the Titan and Warlock as well if you all really want me to. I most likely will. I have a really good idea for the Titan that I think I'd love to show you all. But yeah, if you did like this set and the alternatives shown, then please drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. And yeah, if you haven't already, go and check out my fashion builds playlist, which includes all the fashion builds I've made up until now. But yeah, thank you all so much for the incredible support recently. Stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video.